Hey, everybody.
We
Welcome
live?
to another Glew University. We'll get started in just a couple seconds to maybe a minute. It looks like a lot of people are funneling in. We have a pretty big audience today, so want everybody to be able to catch it live. So while we're waiting for everybody to load in here, if anybody wants to say, hey, their name, where they're from, what store they're with, we'd love to know who we're talking to today. If you want to be shy, that's totally okay as well. We're pretty outgoing and outspoken here at Glew, but if you're not, that's totally cool.
You can also add in any discount codes that you want to share with us. We'll share them.
Yeah,
with
that's been like the running joke of these for like 3 years is if you have coupon codes and you want to share them with us. Hey, Brian, how you doing? Glad to have you here. Well, at least we have one person today saying what's up. All right. Well, cool. Well, we are going to go ahead and get started here. Hey, there we go. There everybody comes in. It just takes one, and then everybody starts saying, "Hey, what's up?" Well, awesome. Hey, everybody. Super excited to get started. So for today, we are going to talk a lot about products. In Glew, there's a pretty exciting product section. So we're going to go through a ton of different things about products, how to use Glew to make decisions with those. So let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to sadly here hide our cameras, but share our screens and go through the fun stuff about Glew.
We'll be back.
All right, cool. All righty. So I'll go ahead and just introduce both of us. My name is Christian. You'll probably see me on most of the Glew Universities. I head up client success here at Glew. And then I'm joined by Katie, who's our director of client success and is a rock star as well. So we're super lucky to have her. But cool. Well, let's go through what we're going to cover today. So the first thing we're actually going to cover is syncing your COGS. So product costs and profitability analysis. So we want to make sure that in analyzing products, you can look at gross sales, but a lot of people are very interested in the profitability of products. So we'll talk a little bit about that. We'll also go through product KPIs. KPIs are key performance indicators. So in Glew, you're actually able to see a lot of different KPIs around your products. You can look at things, on the basis of SKU, category, vendor, and more. So we'll talk a little bit about that and what should you be tracking. We'll also talk about product segments. So product segments is effectively, if you listen to our customer segment, webinar, it's the same kind of idea. So it's cohorts of products. So it's grouping products together on a similar field. So we'll cover things that are out of the box in Glew and ones that you can actually build on your own. We'll also talk about product tags. So the product tags is another way to group products together to yield some very specific insights. So we'll talk about how to use those and get a little bit more granular. And then probably the fun part at the very end is we're going to talk about products that help you acquire and retain high value customers, right? Products can tell us a lot about our customers, what they like, what they don't like, and what it takes to find those dream high LTV clients. Cool. All right, Katie, kick it over to you.
Awesome. So we're gonna. Well, I think this one.
Oh, I jumped you there. Sorry. All right. So let's talk a little bit about what product data can tell you. So as I mentioned, identify customer behavior trends. So what products drive high conversion rates? What products help you find repeat customers? Products that are very high in LTV, AOV, and bundling. So all of these things are found in Glew. And we're going to show you how to do that today. And you can tell everybody about your products and what that product data can tell you. It also identifies customer characteristics. So something that we really like understanding here at Glew is what do high spending customers. So your dream customer, right? Hopefully there's some similarities between your high value customers, and we can actually use those to go find more people like them. Versus people who may come and just spend, a little bit of money. Maybe they're just buying your, flagship product. How do we isolate those people and not spend a ton of money on them if we know they're just going to be a one-time buyer? We also want to track hot and cold products, right? We may have products that are very popular in season or not popular out of season. Or you may be a brand that sells products that are, kind of like a product drop style. So you want to know what is hot during that drop versus cold. And ultimately, you want to use this data to develop product strategy drives customers to take specific actions, right? All of our goals is to get customers to buy more frequently and spend more money, right? So again, analytics can be extremely important to your business. All right, Katie, now it is your turn.
Awesome. I didn't want to steal your shine on slide 3.
Thank
So to get started with Cost Manager, you guys can find this in your own stores and products, and then the Cost Manager tab. It's really easy to navigate. Most people's costs will pull over directly from their e-com cart when you get all connected and start in your trial. But if not, if you have any specific costs or additional costs that you want to add in, you can always add them in manually through Glew just by clicking on the cost buckets basically, and you can type them in. If you do this, this will supersede like any automatic costs that were pulled in, just so you know. So always be sure to maybe connect with your account rep before editing any cost data if it's specific to you. And then you can also add your cost data in through a CSV template. We make this really, really easy. It's super user-friendly. All you have to do is click on that hyperlink for the CSV template, and then you can load that data in directly through like a VLOOKUP basically from an export of your costs. So this is SKU specific. It makes it really easy, populates all your margins within Glew. Basically with Glew, it's the more the merrier when it comes to data. So if you don't have your cost data loaded in, I would definitely suggest doing so, just because it is going to be more fruitful in that product segment or section after you load those in.
Sweet. Next slide.
Cool. And then just to talk about some of the KPIs that are going to be in your product list. So when you go into Glew, you'll see the product tab over on your left-hand side. Product list is going to be the first tab under there. Lots and lots of KPIs kind of hidden in this metric. You'll see you have, first it'll pop up with just all of your products as a whole. You have in the top right-hand corner, you can select configurable versus variant product. So basically that's going to be your parent versus child products. So think sizes, colors versus just the parent product as well. So if you want to get a little bit more nitty gritty into specific size data and what's selling, things like that, you can always choose your variant product. You can also see things like your different SKU levels. You can always filter versus name or SKU up at the top if you're looking for a specific bundle of products or anything like that. You have obviously your revenue sold during the time frame that you have chosen in your date picker, your number of orders, your quantity sold, your amount refunded. A lot of people will pop in here and filter all their products by quantity refunded to see, hey, do we need to reevaluate like the sizing on a pair of shorts, or why are people buying one flavor and they keep returning it and things like that. Again, your costs, there they are again. So having those populated is going to be good for getting all of those margins and things like that pulled in as well. You can also create in that little all products drop down, you can create any sort of custom product segments as well by clicking on that add filter. You'll have the ability there to filter on all of the columns that live within this metric as well. So if you wanted to say like all products that have a specific status, or all products that start with a specific SKU variation and things like that, that's kind of where you're going to build out any of those custom decks and segments. Good for the next one. Cool. And then if you click into a specific SKU, you're going to get a nice little product breakdown. So you'll have all the KPIs. You'll see the revenues, the quantity sold. Christian's going to get into CLTV a little bit more, which is always a really exciting topic based off of product. For today's example, we're in the Sally Red Hat. We can see all of the sales. We have like a trend versus summary bubble, and I always suggest clicking on that summary bubble just because you get a lot more granular data. You can see the AOV of the product. So how often is it being sold at full price versus discount? You can kind of watch that number fluctuate. You can see the new versus repeat customers. Is a product, catching a bunch of repeat purchasers Oh, it's because we sent out like an email marketing campaign, or is it in a new customer segment where, obviously we had that in our Instagram ad last week, so it makes complete sense. Just being able to see the total revenue versus products, the inventory fluctuations, again, the refund fluctuations as well. And then it's not in the screenshot, but if you're in a specific SKU within Glew, you can always see, you have to be on a variant level SKU, but you can see often bundled with this product, which is a really, really fruitful metric that a lot of our clients like to see. And it's kind of tucked away within this SKU KPI basically. But you can see, what products your customers have already organically purchased with the Sally Red hat, for example. So that's always really cool to see as well. Cool. And then the inventory KPIs, this is a lot of people's favorite section of Glew I've been noticing recently. I had a customer that I was doing a demo for the other day, and their eyes like lit up when they saw this whole depletion days and everything just kind of laid out in front of them. So basically our inventory metric, the first thing I always like to mention is that quantity available is always going to be based off of today's date. So no matter if I had like last year in the date picker, we're going to be looking at how many we have on hand today for each product. The reason that we do this is so our sell-through rates, our velocities, our depletion days, and our out-of-stock dates are all calculated accurately based off of how many we have on hand versus how many are selling. A lot of people ask me in demos like why something says like sell-through rate is 0%. Well, no products have sold in the date picker that you have selected. So always make sure you have like a nice little range on if you're looking to see a specific, velocity and things like that, and you're getting zeros. Always check on that. For data sorting, you can always filter, again, any of our columns. You can kind of just like click on the top of the column and it'll sort by the amount you have on hand. A lot of people will click on that edit filters button and set up like a depletion days is less than 30 or something like that, and set up that as an automatic report, just so you can kind of have that coming to your email every day or every month, whatever you want to do, and just kind of have an alert system coming through anytime you're running low on a product. So that's a really, really great use case of that reports tab within Glew. But yeah. Is this one me too? Sorry. And then for product tags, so these are going to be really, really fruitful workarounds when it comes to Glew. So if you ever have any tags that you build out over in your e-com cart, they'll pull directly into Glew. The more the merrier when it comes to these. You don't have any limit on product tags. So say you wanted to have all of your shoes in a tag, and you're doing this because you have a new shoe coming out this summer. You can easily build out this shoe tag over in Shopify or whatever e-com cart you're using. I think they're called categories in Magento and BigCom, but we'll pull those in too. You can come into Glew, click into that shoe tag, and you'll be able to see all the customers who have bought a product from that tag, and you'll also be able to see all the products that are in the tag. The reason this is cool is because you can easily export that as a CSV, load it into Klaviyo, and you know exactly what customers to target with your new shoe ad. You can also use this for things like different spring, summer, fall, winter collections. That's always awesome, kind of depending on what your brand is. Again, more the merrier when it comes to tags, because you can get super granular with that customer data based off of the products that they're purchasing.
All right. Awesome. Great job, Katie. So next thing we're going to talk about is going to be product segments. So when you log into your Glew account, you click the product dropdown, you're going to see product segments. So as Katie mentioned, you can go into product list and create any sort of custom segment that you want on the basis of whatever those fields are in the product list. But for this, what I'm going to focus on is the out of the box product segments, right? So this requires no thinking on your part. It's just looking at the data that we said, hey, we think this may be really important to you. So there are a few different types of segments. There's performance based. So when you look in there, you're going to see things like high volume, high margin, most profitable. You're also going to see behavior based, right? You're going to see things like most bundled. most reordered, most refunded, and most abandoned. And then you'll see top sellers by channel. So I'm going to quickly highlight just a few reasons why you would maybe use each of these different types of segments, and kind of a highlight of those. So for high volume, high margin, and most profitable, what we're really looking for is one, products that are flying off the shelves, and then products that are making us a lot of money, right? If we're selling a ton of a product that has a really high cost, it's great, right? We're getting new customers and things like that. So you want to cultivate those customers, and find a way to maybe start creating new advertisements, whether it's in your retargeting ads or maybe in follow-up emails, if you have a newsletter and things like that, where you're then getting them to buy more profitable products. Maybe you don't have like a repeat buying type of product, right? But then you sell accessories, or things like that, right? Maybe the accessories are really cheap. You can sell them for a little bit more of a premium. And at the same time, you may be drawing in customers with a discount, right? And then you're hoping through, your marketing team's efforts and cultivating email strategies and things like that, that you're building a strong natural repeat buy there, without discounts, right? Typically, you want to use the discount to get the people in there, but you don't want to fall into a discount trap where we're having to always discount products to get people to buy. We did a webinar on customers. I would definitely check that out. We talk a little bit about how to kind of tackle that. Behavior based. So this is really probably one of the more insightful sections here about kind of like looking at products to help you drive decisions in the future. So we'll start with most bundled. So obviously as an e-commerce business, AOV is a really important metric. What's the fastest way to increase AOV? It's not rocket science. It's to have more products sold at the same time in one order, right? We all love when people buy 10 things at once. It's a big order. It only costs, one shipping cost, and it boosts our AOV. A lot of investors like AOV. So most bundled, what this is actually, if you log into Glew, you're going to see the top products bundled. It's going to look like this. This is just going to show you what is your highest bundled product. It's not going to show you the inside of like what is bundled with that on this main page here, but we do give you that information. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take a look and see, hey, what's our top product bundled? Hey, by the way, if you have like a free sample, that's probably going to be your top product bundled. So you may want to look over to the next one. So in this example here, it's the Sally Red Hat, right? So what you want to think here is, okay, great. So people are naturally bundling this product. So, do we want to encourage that behavior or do we want to keep it organic, right? If it's happening a ton, then you may be missing on an opportunity to increase AOV by not encouraging that behavior more. And what I mean by that is offering like 10% off if you bundle with this product or something like that. It's just a quick idea. It's a quick way to get some quick revenue, and kind of boost that capital. Maybe you go do a big ad spend after that and you kind of take that discount away. It's kind of pulling your different levers to pull in cash to go do things and then, draw on more revenue. Another thing that you want to do is, okay, great. So we know that the Sally Red Hat is our most bundled product. So what you'll do is you can either click into that product, you can click view all to see the tabled format. But if you click into this product, what it's going to bring you to is that page that Katie just showed you, this one here, the product KPIs. And as she mentioned, you're going to see most often bundled with this product. So this is going to show you, okay, what are people actually buying with the Sally Red Hat, right? Let's say you are an apparel brand for golf, right? And for whatever reason, if anybody buys a hat, right, maybe they're buying shorts or a polo. I know that if I go to a golf website, I'm probably buying a hat and a polo, right? So maybe you guys create an incentive there to bundle those together. And maybe you do it like once a quarter, right? That's going to encourage people. One, they know they're getting a good deal. And it also maybe creates a natural reoccurring occurrence of repeat buys, right? They know it's seasonal. They got to jump in and take advantage of that, right? So you're kind of creating that organic repeat buying through product insights and customer behavior. Most reordered is another really interesting one to take a look at. Now, some businesses, it's a no-brainer to do subscriptions, right? If you sell like protein powder, if you sell vitamins, anything that you need to buy regularly, obviously makes sense to do a subscription. What we've actually been seeing a little bit more is on these most reordered is some more of like the apparel brands, like white t-shirts or kind of like staples. Anything that if a customer really, really likes, I know from experience with white shirts, I typically get them dirty. So if you may see me as my most reordered is like a white t-shirt, right? So people are buying something over and over again. You want to encourage that behavior, right? We want to let this data tell us what our customers are doing organically, and then encourage that so that those people continue to do it. And then people that may not have done it may start doing it. So that's another really powerful one. So keep an eye on that one. Most refunded and most abandoned. So this is a little bit like the opposite end of the spectrum. It's okay, well, why aren't we getting customers to buy? Well, most refunded, as Katie mentioned, take a look at that. If you're seeing trends there, one, make sure your sizing, if you're an apparel brand, make sure your sizing is appropriate, right? Maybe we need to invest a little bit more in making sure they know exactly what they're buying, right? We don't love refunds, but they do happen. So you want to avoid that at all costs. So if you're seeing it consistently, take a look at that. Now, if you're looking at your most refunded and you sell a size 9 and a size 10 shoe, that's another thing there, right? Maybe, again, it goes to sizing. Some people see like they maybe be buying like several different sizes or something like that. And, maybe you want people to be a little less reckless in buying 2 things. If you do free returns and like free shipping on returns and you're seeing that, maybe something that you need to cancel out, right? It may be costing you money. Another thing to kind of keep in mind. And then most abandoned this is a killer, right? We hate seeing products abandoned. We get them to the cart and then they don't ever buy. So what you want to do with these is this is an insight. Well, we need to make this a shinier object, right? We want people to definitely convert. So, reach out to a creative agency, make a really sweet ad, whatever that most abandoned product is, put it on a great model, or, put a couple customer reviews on if you sell like protein powder or something like that. Make it sparkle, make people want to convert on it, and then get that one out and then see what your next most abandoned is, right? And then top sellers by channel. So you can actually pop in there in Glew and you can see channel data. So that what I mean by channel is like, do they come from social or email, organic search? So you can see that as well. So this is really important. Hey, if you are typically advertising your sneakers via email and I go in here and my top selling product via email is my t-shirts, well, maybe we should change our strategy a little bit, right? So I would definitely go in there within Glew, take a peek at top sellers by channel and just kind of see how those products are performing. Is it matching what your expectation would be? If it is, great. Let's keep an eye on it, make sure it continues to match. If it doesn't, well, then maybe we need to change our behavior to accommodate what our customers are kind of naturally doing. So that's product segments. So the next section here is going to be finding your high value product. So within Glew, what you're going to want to look at is 2 things in this section: orders and customer lifetime value. Customer lifetime value is what we call like a qualitative way to look at your products. So rather than just saying, okay, we had 70 orders today and we had $50,000 of revenue. Well, that's great. It's exciting to see that kind of sales. But how do those products actually perform over the long term? And what sort of customers are buying those products? So within your Glew account, go pick a segment. Do like hot products, right? Let's use products that are very popular right now. And what you're going to do is you're going to pin. So you can come up here. You can see this pin drop down. You're going to pin customer LTV and orders. First thing you're going to do is you're going to sort by orders. This is going to give you your typical range of statistically significant orders, right? And then you're going to go over and you're going to look at LTV and you're going to rank that. So customer LTV, again, this is the lifetime value of all customers who have bought this product. So why is that valuable? Well, it's showing you, hey, is the overall cohort of people who buy this high value or low value customers? The reason we do the order sorting first is because we want that statistical significance, right? If there's one order and the LTV is 20,000, well, that's great, right? We had one rich guy your girl came in and bought a ton of product. But, should we use that data to run our business? Probably not, right? So we want to look for something that's pretty significant in the order world. And then we use that as a barometer to see what LTVs match. So if you see a product in there that has a strong LTV, what we call these is like our diamond products. And your business well, you may say, well, this is typically our first sale product. Okay, great. But maybe there's a product in there that's like, oh, wow, that has the highest CLTV. Well, what do we do with that? Well, we can do 2 things. One, we can use it to acquire new customers, right? So think about that. If we already know that there's high value customers buying a specific product, well, in our advertisements, we should use that product because it's going to catch the eye of a high LTV customer. So I'm spending X amount of dollars to go buy a customer. My goal is for one, obviously they need to convert, but if they continue to buy and buy and buy and buy again, right, that's going to be a very valuable acquisition. So it's great to acquire customers, but let's use products to make sure we're finding the right customer. So that's really what we see people typically use customer LTV for. And then in retention, same kind of idea there. If there is a really strong CLTV, then we want to use that in our follow-ups, right? In our repeat buy emails or our, whatever content you guys are coming out with. Use those products, those diamond products, and then track that behavior, right? We want to see, okay, great. We started using this super high LTV product in advertising. After 6 months, we saw the LTV go down, right? A lot of new customers came in on that product, but what happens in the next 6 months, right? Maybe we stop advertising that. We start using it at repeat buys. You can track that cohort of customers and see is that LTV going up or down. So CLTV is extremely powerful. All right, this one is yours, KT.
Nice. So if you go, well, similar to how we have these predefined product segments, we also have the predefined customer segments, which is a super powerful section of Glew. As Christian mentioned, we talked about this one a few weeks ago on a webinar, so definitely dig into all of our predefined segments over in customers. But a way that you can use this to power product data as well is if you click into specific predefined segments and scroll past all of the KPIs and the customers that are in the segment, you'll also be able to see what products those customers are purchasing. And this can answer questions like what products are my most profitable customers buying versus what products are my one-time customers purchasing. So you can always come into this section, all the same filtering capabilities that you would have anywhere else in the product section. So you can see the amount of times they've purchased them, the different SKU names. You can filter by quantity sold to see, what are the top products that are selling from my top customers. Just really, really great data here in those customer segments that's kind of tucked away. So we definitely wanted to mention this section of Glew today too.
Yeah, absolutely. So that section is relatively new within Glew. So I'm just going to talk about a few different ones that you guys may want to use. So again, we're actually going out of the product section. We're going into the customer segment section, creating a custom customer list. And then once you save that, you go click back into that customer segment, you scroll all the way down, and then you're going to see this product data. So ways to kind of like create cool segments to see really insightful product data are as follows. So you can actually use customer tags / groups, depending on what cart you're on, to isolate things like first-time buyers of a specific product to see their lifetime value, right, in additional KPIs. So let's say, you tag your customers who all first purchased the, fancy polo. And then we want to actually see those people in June of maybe we look at last year, orders are greater than 1. And then you'll come in here. It's a little bit small, but you'll be able to actually see those. You'll see that lifetime value of those first-time buyers. And then you can see things like customers, orders, revenue, refund value, and profit, and also AOB. So again, this is just one example, but you can kind of think of like, because we show you product data within a tag, you can tag customers with product information and then get product KPIs of that customer group. It's kind of like a Rubik's Cube of getting your brain to, combine the two. But it is a really powerful way to create extremely customized groups and get really insightful product data. So if you have questions about this, let me know. Happy to help you out. Another one that I like to use is campaigns to identify product sales. So one thing, again, you can actually take a look at what people are buying through those channel data. So channel data is like that high level things like social, email, direct, etc. Yes, you can do that too, but you can also do this in Glew, which is using campaign level data, which is like, hey, I ran an email campaign or a Google Ads campaign or Facebook campaign or whatever it may be. using your UTM tags of those. And you can actually pull that in. So let's do like last click campaign. So let's say that you send out an email, right? And in that email, you are advertising your, your black sweatshirt. So I go in here to Glew. I say, okay, great. We know that's the black sweatshirt email campaign. I pop it in there. I want to see orders, and I click save, and then I click into the customer segment to see the KPIs. So once I do that, what I can actually see is going to be this banner down here, which is products purchased. You'll see all that stats around it. So revenue, orders, quantity sold, all that good data. What we're looking for here is if in a campaign, I'm advertising a black sweatshirt and I come in here, I create my cohort. Now I want to see, okay, these are people who converted. We know they clicked on that email. They went to my website and they converted. My hope or my expectation would be these are all probably black sweatshirt sales, right? Well, let's say you click in here and you have a wide variety of products, or everybody's buying the green sweatshirt. It's like, okay, well, let's save them a step and start advertising the green sweatshirt, right? That's probably going to boost conversion because you're basically in this campaign, you're asking somebody, one, to click on a campaign, then go change color and then convert, right? It's just more steps to conversion, more time for people to decide whether they want to buy or not, right? So we want to always reduce the decision time in a purchase. So a lot of this is doing that, right? Back to the bundling thing. Oh, I was going to buy a polo and a hat. Okay, let me click polo. Let me find my size. Then I got to click my hat and find my size. What if you had a button that said buy the bundle, right? It's just quicker decisions. It's quicker conversions. And, people that convert fast are typically going to, be a lot happier. And you guys are going to have a lot quicker sales and much more efficient ad dollars. So these are definitely fun ones to play around with. This is not limited to this, but these are just ways to get you started. I included these, and again, we'll send these slides out at the end, just kind of show you like a jump start of how you would create a segment in Glew. And then again, scroll down to the bottom there. So, all right. So that is it for the product insight. So again, in these slides, we'll include some documentation, but I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen, bring my camera back on. And then let me see if we have had any questions.
I think the only one I see is about sharing the deck. So if you're subscribed to any of our webinars, they'll automatically send out the deck and the recorded version of the webinar once it's completed as well. So you'll have it
absolutely
over and over again.
Yeah, for sure. And as just like a general reminder, right now you're on Crowdcast. So all of our webinars are hosted on Crowdcast. So if you ever want to watch any of them, so we do 2 a month. We do a Glew 101 training, which is a basic walkthrough the platform. We actually share our screen and go through Glew. It allows you to see all the fun buttons and things like that. And then we do one of these typically as well. So we do Actionable Product Insights was this week. We did a series on lifetime value, which covered how to increase AOV, how to increase purchase frequency, and then overall LTV driving. So if you haven't seen those, I would definitely check it out. And then the next deep dive we're doing is actually going to be a little bit more of like a high level view, but it's going to be on what investors who use Glew, what do they look for, and then how to drive those. So we'll actually have a finance guy on here who will cover that. So when you see that, definitely sign up for it. And we hope you join. But yeah, any questions on products? Was that helpful for anybody? I hope it was. But yeah, if you don't have any questions, everything was super straightforward. That's great. That means we did a good job here. But if you have a question, it pops in your mind later, you can always give me a shout or Katie. We're happy to help you out.
Yeah, and email support@glew.io with those questions as well.
Awesome. Cool.
Sweet.
Awesome. Well, thanks everybody. We will be up here in a couple of weeks. And again, if you guys have any questions, just give us a shout.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks for joining.